Okay, day 111. Um, I also had therapy today. So, morning meditation, therapy, and then afternoon meditation. Um, I, so the weekend was interesting, and I'm noticing the, impact on me, I guess, or the processing of it. On Sunday, because it was, it's a holiday, kind of holidays in general, just kind of, it's new for me now, experiencing holidays without, my relationship. And it kind of stirred up some grief, mostly surrounding my father-in-law, who is no longer here, who passed in the summer. So it stirred up some grief there, and really because of, not having that kind of figure in my life and really feeling like I had that in him for the first time. So one of the things I kind of wanted to talk about today, and I think this is something that just helps in general when it comes to really anything that's painful, is the acknowledgement of it, is talking about it, bringing awareness and attention to it so that you can surrender it, right? So it's in therapy, so I kind of started talking about, like, the last time I saw my real dad, my father, my biological father. And I think I'm gonna share that story with you. And I tell you this not to not out of vengeance or anger, but to give myself that acknowledgement and that space, and that to be seen in it, right? So, all right, I had been on I was on this medication, this Depakote, 1,000 milligrams of this stuff, for like 6 years. The reason I was on it was because my father told this doctor that I was bipolar and needed to be on this medication. So I started taking this medication. I was young, I was only like 19. And then fast forward, like 6 years later, and I thought I had the flu. I got really jaundiced, my stomach was swelling, ended up in the hospital, didn't understand what was wrong. I lost a lot of weight, but my stomach was really swollen, and my liver was just not happy. My liver enzymes were crazy, apparently, and I was bedridden for a week. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. They thought I had hepatitis. I tested negative for that. I kept testing negative for all these things, and no one could figure out what was going on. I was also in my first gay relationship, my first girlfriend, and she and my father did not like each other at all. Neither were healthy or sound individuals, but Anyways, so I'm in the hospital, and during this period of time, the person, they put me in the infectious floor or whatever, because they just couldn't figure out. They thought I had hepatitis, even though I didn't. And so I end up there, and the person I'm sharing this room with, she had like a really bad night, and I don't think she made it. Like, I heard things going on that were really scary and traumatic and depressing, and so I lost it. I was crying. I just wanted my mom. I called her and I was like, I don't want to be here. I just want to go home. At that time I was living with my girlfriend. I just kept saying I wanted to go back home to her. And my mom said, we want to talk to you. We have something to talk about. So I was kind of shocked and shook at that point, because I was just like, what could you possibly want to talk about right now? While I'm sobbing and wanting just for you to be here. So they came, and my dad proceeds to tell me that nobody is comfortable with my relationship and the fact that I'm gay. That's why they won't come to see me. That's why my brothers wouldn't come to see me in the hospital, why my grandparents wouldn't come to see me in the hospital, and even that, other family was uncomfortable with my relationship. So I lost it. I was hyperventilating. I was screaming because I could not make sense of what was happening at all. In a desperate time when I felt so very depressed and just not knowing what's wrong with me and why I couldn't walk, and I just wanted to be out of there. And so I'm hyperventilating and I'm screaming, and the new person that I was sharing a room with called the nurse, and I just kept saying, get out, get out, get out, get out, over and over and over. And my dad kept saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, because that's what he would do after he would abuse me. And then he would say it until I said, I love you back, and then he'd finally stop. This was the first time that I never said, I love you back. Also the last time I saw him. So, yeah, they left, and I asked the nurse to not let them back in the room, and more in particular my dad, not to let him back in my room, because I wouldn't get better if he was there. So I tell you this because it felt, the sense of regaining any kind of I don't want to say the word power. It wasn't that. Regaining any sense of self back by not saying I love you in return was a powerful moment for me. But yeah, that's just something I felt like I just wanted to share, because there's so many. This is one of very many stories of my own that I feel like, as I'm going through this process, and I'm understanding, the detachment from past and the detachment from future, I'm also recognizing that while I absolutely want to detach from these things, I must acknowledge these things first, the pain in these things, and acknowledging it, not only just for my own sake of like, seeing it and giving it some sense of value because of what the impact was on my life, but also to share it because I know that I'm not alone in a lot of these things. I know that I'm not, other people have stories similar, and I'm just hoping that by sharing it, it can give some sense of validation or even, solidarity to someone else who's going through this or has gone through it. And just remembering that while you can absolutely 100% have this spiritual path or seek, the contentment in being present doesn't mean that you have to avoid or abandon your truth. It just means that it's important to acknowledge and embrace that truth so that you can let it go, and so that that past doesn't creep up on your present self time, if that makes sense. So that's why I shared this with you. I know it was a lot and possibly even triggering in some ways to some people, but I just think it's necessary to share. And again, this is just one piece of many. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.